your name?
My name is Charley Hustle.
Charley Hustle.
Charley Hustle.
Charley, where are you from, man?
I grew up outside of Philly, about 30 miles west of Philly, in a little town called Downingtown, Pennsylvania, and that's where I'm from. Probably around 17, in that area somewhere. I started writing like raps and stuff when I was about 13, just for fun, and then around 15, 16, I think my grandmother bought me a like a sequencing keyboard, so I started making beats and stuff. And at one point, I think I was even looking like in the back of a Source magazine, and I saw this little classified blurb, and it said like, learn how to be a record producer and an audio engineer. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. So this, thank you, the Source,
Yeah, right.
for letting me know I could do that.
Right.
I was getting out of high school, and I knew I wanted to be involved in music, and basically it was LA or New York, and New York was closer and more dangerous, and and like I was really into rap and stuff, so like at that time in my life, and New York was the place, for that. So I was like, I need to be there. All my heroes are from New York, so I need to go there. Back then, I wanted to be Timbaland, as like probably every other kid that was making beats wanted to be. I wanted to be Timbaland. I loved like the Mos Def and Common and Talib Kweli thing, even though that had nothing to do with Timbaland. But I just thought he was an amazing producer, and I thought they were amazing rappers. Now I love Danger Mouse. I love the band Elbow. It's getting harder now to find influences. It's because it's like, yeah, the more you get into it, the more you're like, I don't know. The thing I always loved about music was like, oh my God, how did they do that? And now I know. Whoa. So it's like, so now it's harder to find people who are doing things that surprise me, that are sort of like, oh my goodness, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I need to do that. I wish I could do that. Now it's more songwriters, because I feel like production-wise, cool, I can do it. But writing songs and lyrics and these guys that are almost poets and stuff, I'm like, man, I need to read more, So I think I just grew, and I feel like with no sort of disrespect to rap and hip hop, I feel like I grew, I don't want to say outgrew it, but I grew in a different direction from it. I always was very, always had sort of a mind for like bigger sounding songs than hip hop allowed for. And especially back then, it was mostly just 4-bar loops and stuff like that. Now the production's getting a lot cooler, and things are starting to progress and build in songs, and they'll arrange things a little bit. I also wasn't a huge fan of sampling. I liked what they did, but when I found out there was a sample, it always felt like I got cheated somehow. So I started making hip hop tracks that didn't sample, and I tried to play my own things on them and stuff, and people weren't feeling it. They were just like, nah, this doesn't sound like that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to do this other thing. So I sort of naturally drifted away from it. And also, when I was a kid, I didn't have anyone showing me anything else besides what I found, and what my friends found. So it was mostly rap and whatever was on the radio. And then through meeting more people and educating myself, I guess, I started listening to the Beatles. I started listening to the Stones and Led Zeppelin and the Doors and all these seminal, amazing bands. And it was like, wait, this is music. Like this is all the stuff they sampled. So why not make that the original, So yeah, I just, sort of just grew away from it. I'm definitely a producer, but I write songs. I write most of the songs. I at least co-write most of the songs that I produce. I sing on a bunch of stuff. I play most of the instruments on everything, unless I need someone who can play better, and then I find them. Or if it's a band, I let the band do the thing. I engineer the records and stuff like that. For some reason, I felt like I needed to be able to do everything. So
Yeah.
the style really depends on the artist. I think there is a through line in everything I do. There's definitely a bit of, I don't know if it's aggression or if it's just groundedness in it. There's definitely an attitude. There it is. There's an attitude to everything I do, I feel like. But you know, it varies. It varies. I do a lot of my own projects as well, with collaborative projects with other artists. One is mostly all electronic, sort of dubstep, hardcore, punk type of style. And then the one I did right after it is all live instruments. It's blues rock, sort of gospel, southern sounding music, you know? But they're both badass, you know? So I think that's sort of my through line is there's an attitude to it, but I want to be able to produce any style of music or any artist. You know, it's hard to say, because for a long time, I feel like I'm almost at a point where for a long time I've wanted to be at the place that I'm at right now. So I'm sort of reevaluating goals. You know, I've been fortunate enough to have a career in music and sort of transition into different areas of music and still be able to have a career, you know? And now I'm really trying to like take the reins and make it what I want it to be. And what I want is to be, you know, producing and writing songs constantly. I love putting out my own music. That's a tough one, you know. You know, it's really strange that you ask me that, and I don't have an answer, because I usually do have an answer for that. But I just want to have a life, you know, a life filled with music and creating projects. And I want to work with more artists. I want to give more artists the opportunity to have cool projects. You know, I feel like a lot of times people can make cool songs and can make cool records, and it is what it is, and people do what they're good at. You know, I'm not a band. I don't go out and play shows. I don't, you know, there's certain things I don't do. But I like finding those people that are good at those things and helping them take it to the next level. So if I can continue to do that and have a life, I'll be happy.